Good morning. Crude numbers just came out. You could see the massive wick. Looking to buy at that band, but was there for literally a split second. Let's see how it back and fills in here. Bigger draw than expected, 2.6 million. It's mildly bullish news. You could see that let's look at the higher time frames. Hourly's kind of bearish. 15 is turned up, so it's kind of getting this chop. The Nasdaq, I don't know this if it's the go-to webinar or what it is, but very delayed on the trades that were coming through. Got me took about a minute for it to exit. I don't know if it's the T4 or the go-to webinar, like I said, but Nasdaq got into that area where you'd like to get long. Probably is going to go to this top band, back to that 4,500, round trip that whole down move. There really was no news, so that was just kind of a decent opportunity. You can see how the buyers stepped in on crude oil. There's also sellers in there, so we'll see. We'll see if that bottom band holds again and get a signal to buy. Definitely in that choppy range. You could see the gold. This is the 15-minute. You could see the gold is up, but the red is down, so might even make a new low here. Well, last week when they had the inventory numbers, really got killed. Almost identical news. Better, bigger draw than expected, but not that much. Yep, there goes new low. The buyers fail here at that 33. Look for new levels. $58.09. Not messing around with crude today. Like to see it get down to even to this band. That's a 15-minute. Let's go a 30-minute. Sometimes it's good to look at different time frames. A lot of guys use the 30-minute. Just something a little different. It's the hour. Let's go back to the 5-minute. We've got the 1 minute up here. Gotta love the round trip on the Nasdaq and S&P. Let's see. Possible buy signal coming on the crude oil contrarian system. Recent low was 20. Wait and see in crude. Let's go to the 4 hour. Had that sell off and then it came all the way back. Same on the 1 hour. See how there's definitely still buyers in there. 15-minute, wow. Round tripped it. So let's see if this is going to make a bottom. You see as it starts to get its there's wicks in here, and so that shows that the compression of the candle as it comes down and comes back. Showing the bottoming process. We'll have to see if it either bounces to here or comes back and tests. We'll see which way it goes. You know, two scenarios: bounce, sell off, hold, rally, or bounce makes a new low and then that rallies out of there. So it's kind of just worried depending on what your entry price is going to be. I've got an anchor price of kind of around 30 right now. We'll see, we just had the first bounce. Crude's been pretty strong bouncing out of these sell-offs lately, but held that low from the other day. Let's see if it runs out of steam here, test the low. See if we get a secondary trigger. See if we can get it back to 30. So it's the retest. 58.30. Starting to turn on the 5-minute. Kind of a strange test and then rally. That should be actually a breakout, but really needs to trade 40. 42. Those 42s printed. Let's look at the not really that much of a bullish divergence here on those tick charts. It definitely had one here. We had the low and then the lower low, that was the entry. You could see the bullish divergence. Then we actually beat this low out or tied that low. And you could see it was still bullish divergence. Let's see if it's on the flip side now. Made a high, made a higher high. It is starting to fade a little bit, but it's still higher than this. This one got pinned. It's interesting how this this particular calculation of the stochastics gets pinned either at 0 or at 100. Nasdaq's definitely just kind of stuck at that range. We'll see if there's a probably needs one more push higher to get a short. It's pretty powerful. This is what I talk about price action. That's pretty darn powerful move back. Especially that it was at breakdown areas and it just came all the way back. Got to respect that price action. Crude's got kind of that same V pattern starting to form. Let's reset that. Crude is really roaring back on. Look at that. It's completely retraced the whole thing. Yeah, it's definitely you could almost see it's like an ignition type program. It's almost like starts to go and then it really gets accelerated. Someone had asked about a high frequency trading program. I think the thinness of the market gets that kind of fast sell off move. And then they kind of shut down those trading systems, the shorter term ones, and then once they turn it back on, you could see it really come back. All right, got to watch the Nasdaq. Put the 15-minute up here. Probably sells off to this 98 area. It's only a couple points away. Should hold there and then maybe come back up and test. It's just too powerful an up move to look for a big sell off short like this morning. Maybe even down 40, 4,500. Bonds have been kind of hanging in there. There's the bond chart. To yesterday's sell off, we've been kind of just basing a little bit higher. All in all, though, pretty choppy day. Kind of expected. I thought there'd probably be a better continuation move on oil. You'd like to think that that would kind of get this thing to break down or break out one way or another, but pretty much got both sides had. But that's the thing with news days too. You got to be really, you almost have to be contrarian. The trending systems are either flat or down a few $100. So I haven't turned them on yet. I'm waiting for a move to start to hit. Doesn't look like I'm going to get it though. What are you trading, Jerry? Let's see if we can get your. Yes, the chart set up with the news is you can't. I mean, you can't run it into the crude news, so you can't be in a position. Um, and then just being incredibly choppy. It's pretty much got down about $300. It came all the way back, got up to $100, then down about 150 now. So I'm just waiting for it to turn to start to give. It's actually out flat. There's no trades actually. They haven't gone off for a while. So what happens is the filters, once there's back and forth trade going on, it just it's flat. Nice. On the Nasdaq, Jerry. Oh, okay. Yeah, you have the bounce, sell off, second bounce, second sell off. We'll see where it holds and if it has a third rally. It's just that's last week when the inventory numbers came out, it just spiked up and then they killed it like $2. This was down, up, and then now it's kind of stuck. I think there'd probably be a mild upward bias, looks like. Just because you see these wicks on the hourly, those are huge buyers coming in, even though the trend is definitely getting more accelerating to the downside. But it's kind of a two-way street. Same thing now at the NASDAQ. It held that blue band area. Let's see if it pushes to the high. See if I can get in at 02. Actually, 02 could be your stop. That was the trade of the day when I look at it. You know, looking at the way that you can play this is the first rally you could sell, book in some profit. You could buy it back in at that same entry price, stop at the low. I just had no visibility on that. It was delayed. I actually hit get flat, and it took about 30 seconds to get on my app. Gotta clean this computer out. It's been running for a long time, and have to add RAM to it. But once you get that break out of that second move. That's what we were talking about. That's that push in here, and then now we've had a sell off and another break. So this pullback here, from a trading perspective, a more aggressive trade, you would get long right here, but your stop would be pretty much one right here, 175. And if this was to work its way through here, got pretty quiet all of a sudden. On this kind of pullback and that sideways uh, kind of motion, it's really needs to start railing this bar or the next bar, or else it'll probably break down and needs to come to a lower level. Same thing like I've talked about with the with trying to build inventory. Well, every time frame, every pair is flat. Nasdaq, crude, both time frames. So usually on that's a stop out right there, minus a point. Much more aggressive trade. So if you think about it, if there's energy in the market, you've got this sell-off, buyers, the short guys start to cover, goes down again, the buyers really step in. You get kind of this first wave, sell-off, second wave, sell-off. But now you see that this sell-off is getting long time-wise, half an hour versus 4 minutes versus pretty much, I don't know, 2 minutes. But if it's bullish trend, it seems to be holding here. Actually looks worse in the 5 minute. See crude's holding. So you can see how when you're fighting the trend, the short-term trend is down, but the higher time frames are up, so you get a little bit of conflict in there. But this sell-off here is only 4 or 5 points total. we'll see how powerful that. You look on the 15-minute; those up candles are huge. Go over some. It'll be an overview for most of you. There's some new people. I just want to explain the indicators, what you're looking at, how to use them. We'll start with the NASDAQ. So this blue line is the midpoint of the price action that you're looking at, the current price action. It goes back a little further, but it's in general most of that price action. So you're getting that bounce now on the NASDAQ. So what we're looking to do is use these bands and look at, well, first we'll look at the higher time frames. I'd like to start at the hour. 1 hour, the gold bands are most important per time frame. So the gold band is up. So you're looking, in this case, you're looking to buy on the NASDAQ. We'll go with the 15-minute time frame, so we look at multiple time frames. So if you're up on the 1 hour, we start going to the lower time frames to find particular areas to buy. Not just randomly buy, not buying way up when it breaks out at a high, but a place where it's, if you think of it as a special, it's on sale. You want to find areas where it gets on sale. Even go to the 5-minute. Anything below the bands, even if this band is sloping down, is still a pretty decent high probability, I would say 80+% chance trade. It's just a matter of where you're putting in your stop or your target, but that's typically a good spot. Same thing on the above a band, especially if it's down sloping, pretty good down move. Now this one, because of the powerful up move, you know, I guess you could take that short. You only had maybe 3-4 points total in it. Now you're back to almost break even. So it's definitely showing the strength of the market is starting to turn back up, which is that higher time frame. If this 5-minute band was up and hooking up, you get major up moves. You could see it probably better if I step back on the 15-minute. You know, some of these up moves were pretty, I mean, this is 1 bar. It was pretty big up move. So I had the reason I got out, I thought I had problems with my app, and some, you know, people have talked about where if they wanted to, I guess I could have got on the headset, but if I got out on this with my app because it was delayed, so I was trying to change stops, and then you know, I don't know if you guys could see this. This is an 8-core i7, but you could still see that it's always pinning out at, and I believe when I shut GoToWebinar, it drops to like 20%. So it's pretty much GoToWebinar is really bogging it down, but you could see this is about as fast as computers you can get. It's really bogging down. So I was concerned with having that. I had all these stuck stops on there because of the delay of as I was sending the messages out. If you could see all the cancels, I kept hitting cancel and tried to go to break even, and then I just hit get flat. I actually hit it twice because it took that long to get flat. Everybody else got off fine. I mean, my other benchmark people are basically up 25 bucks. Um, so the idea is that you could see how this. I had other orders in here and they all disappeared, so that's an API issue, but that's not a big deal. I usually ignore this. People have asked about the trades and the price values that they put in here. It's pretty much um, it's not important as long as your P&L matches up with your P&L from your. So minus 25 and minus 25. Yeah, I was really looking for a pretty big bounce on that, especially when I was looking at this. The tick range chart had a huge bullish divergence, so that was a pretty good spot. Sometimes erring on the side of caution is good and bad, so it's helped me more than hurt me in my trading career, but in this case it cost a because I'm kind of looking for spots still to buy. I mean, the way it's trading, it seems pretty. I could see it work in this area for the afternoon, and then even breaking this downtrend, but we'll see. So back to the explanation. So you have these charts I leave up. I shut them down around 10 o'clock at night my time. Seems to clean out the cache from it. Maybe makes it run a little bit better, but so you're able to take a look at those, and then you can also see trades that come in, and you can actually see them. This software is connected, and it automatically puts in the trade, and then the profits in the stop target, and the profit targets and stops for you. And then you'll see literally an X on the screen. This was in at 84. The high was 89, so it was up $100. Now it's up equivalent of pretty about 300. So that's the idea with the concept, is that you'll see trades come through. You'll understand and see the different, and hear, and especially in the trade room now, I'll explain my process, why I do stuff, why I don't do it. There's a million trades per day, literally. So you have to kind of pick the ones that are going to be the best, have a better and higher percentage chance of working out. So you don't want to get click happy. You can also manually trade. So you're able to learn how to manually trade. You can how to put in a buy order. So I'm looking to buy. It actually shows as a limit order here on the chart. You cancel it. You want to sell it. Same thing here. So you have the ability to also learn how to manually trade. So by being all immersed in the process, you learn at I would say, a pretty super fast paced. So typically the life cycle of a trader learning how to trade, they read some books, maybe some manuals, I don't know, listen, talk with some people they know. Most likely if people go around talking about trading randomly, they probably aren't that good of traders. Like most people that know me, I don't really, except in this process, I don't go and tell, like, yeah, I'm trading, I did this, and this. I'm just not, that's just not my style. You got to be humble with the markets. You have to have no ego. If you have big ego, all those guys that were cocky and all that, even if they did do very well for a while, they end up and ended up blowing out their account. So that's kind of the style. I got to be humble, take what the market gives you, use technology. So I have multiple different trading systems that that are able to. Hold on, I got to take a look at something. So I uh, I have multiple different trading systems and technologies that are able to um, literally data mine and get information out of the market to see where we're at um, from the trading system. So instead of taking 5 years before you're really profitable and making money, I started trading. I made a decent chunk of change probably by month 3, and then month 4 lost most of it, meaning like I lost about 30 grand of my 35 grand stake. So kind of hunkered down and did a ton of reading, studies, a lot of years of observation. There's definitely less tools than nowadays, but probably took a year off, started trading again. I was also a stockbroker, so I was trading actually more like investing with clients, although I start trading more options for short term moves. And then with those options, they start doing really well with it. So I start trading probably about another year later after that with my own account. And then within a year, I was making more doing that than as a broker. So I quit being a broker and went to a trading firm, a proprietary trading firm. So that was kind of the life cycle of which is the best way to go. The bonuses of a proprietary trading firm is that they have more capital. So you go and scrape your 10, 20 grand together, you start trading, you don't know what you're doing. Let's say you make money in the beginning and then you start losing, you end up losing, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 grand. Now your $10,000 stake is at 5,000 or 8,000, and you really can't make that much money. Let's say you figure out what you're doing, you double your money from that point. You're one of the best performing trader fund managers for the year. You just made 8 grand for the year. It's most people at that point are like, this isn't worth it. I can't quit my day job. The stress is killing me. I just made $8,000 in a year. I could probably go, anywhere at minimum wage and beat that. So that's where the idea of what your path to success when it comes to trading can be. And then that's how we provide a kind of a step like, okay, you go and learn how to trade, what that time horizon is. It could be 3 months, it could be 6 months, it could be 1 month. It's up to that person. And then once you're able to get a hang of the market, you're able to you could take it at any time. I would make sure you're in step and know what you're doing before, at least I would wait a month or two before taking a combine. But once you start in a combine, then those are very strict test requirements. And because those test requirements are so strict, I think you pass a combine, you're in the top 1% of traders. You get a live account, and you're able then to directly make money off of your trading. And when you do well after a month or two, typically at a proprietary trading firm, they really have a lot of capital, and they feed the good traders. So if you start trading bigger size, you can definitely have the ability to make strong 5 figures in a month trading. So that's kind of the life cycle of the of kind of the process of what we're looking to do. Nasdaq just keeps grinding higher in this range. There is Phil, I would look to lean long on the Nasdaq. You could just see how it's holding in this range. It seems like it wants to press higher here. Um, Same with S&P. It's probably going to be quiet though, just because we've had this kind of big move up and down. So if you're looking to buy at this area, selling if we get a breakout. Like like to start to see the rate of change. So these red bands are the rate of change bands. You like to start to see them go higher. Teaching, there's the 1 hour call that we're doing right now. So I'll explain real-time market structure. You could ask any questions if you want, if you have trading questions or anything. That's what this is for. We have a market wrap-up call, which kind of talks about the trading day. Sometimes a little bit goes more in depth of the it goes into more in depth of economics and stuff like that too. It's open questions, so a lot of people have questions about what China did or what the Fed did, or we talk a lot about monetary policy. We cover currencies, etc. They're being the videos from the training sessions and everything from Sacramento and San Francisco are being mailed to me because they're so huge. So they're going to be mailed out to. I'm not sure if they've been sent yet, but I will try and find out. I don't think so. I think they were really that huge, so I don't think they could be put in Dropbox. I know that Roy knows what Dropbox is, so I think he did it the best way he could. Now that we didn't break out of this high, it does seem like the downward, we might break down and go to this lower area. I'm not sure on a short. It's kind of a tough spot, but just this price action is becoming less bullish. It's a choppy day. I'm looking at stuff's pretty much chop chop. See if the market can hold in this back that 4,500 area. I'm monitoring them. Like I said, they're mostly flat, and I'm also running the contrarian scalping one right now just to make sure that all the entries and everything are working right. So I might be able to run that later on. The trend one is pretty much it's trendless. You could even see it on the how flat it is. Probably got to step out. Or the conflict. 1 hour is up and the 15 is down. It shows a bit of conflict. The sure, Mary, you could send that to me. The GDP numbers came out of Japan, and they were actually pretty decent. But it turns out that was all inventory build, so it was actually bad. But that means more quantitative easy coming for Japan. The crew just fell out of bed. That's the chop and crude. I don't know. Looking at it, it looks like it can have a. It's getting more bearish. If it were to break below these lows, it could definitely waterfall when you look on the higher time frames. The only thing the bulls have is this old high here is support. So old resistance that finally broke out is now new support. See how that works? It's a 4 hour chart. This is the last month. So if it were going to hold, it's this spot, that old high. It's definitely a good area for it to hold. Yeah, the indicators and what you're seeing are obviously they're. I've kind of just did the 30,000 feet view there. There's more to it than that, but typically what we're looking to do is to either talk about where the different patterns and different um, styles of trade and etc. that you have, and then that'll allow you to be able to be more successful more quickly. All right, if you have any more questions, let me know, and we'll see you on the wrap-up call. I think it'll be choppy the rest of the day. I'm kind of watching crude. I mean, I'm probably still looking to buy it on a pullback. NASDAQ, let's see how that goes today. Seems pretty choppy. I would think it probably closes right around this 4,500, right here. No, don't worry about it. Ask as many questions as you have. That's the plan, right? So, but trading it's a lot more simple than people make it out to be. The guys that I've seen that do, I mean, literally some of the guys that have done super well are just very simple indicator and just being patient. That's kind of the key, to be patient. So, all right, we'll see you on the wrap-up call. Thanks.